Good morning and welcome along to today's webinar. We'll be talking all things cloud, digital transformation and managed services. Please feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation. I do have assistants on hand who will be more than happy to answer you via the chat function. We're scheduled for half an hour, but the presentation will probably only last 15 minutes or so. I appreciate it's a relatively dry subject, so I'll not keep you too long. So your speaker today is me. My name is Ben Folds. I'm the Sales Director of HD UK, working closely with Wolters Kluwer to support their customers who are transitioning to the cloud. HD UK are a cloud managed services provider with over 500 accountancy practices using our services. We host more CCH customers than any other cloud service provider, which was the catalyst for becoming CCH's preferred partner for cloud hosting. Since the initial partnership, we've worked together to develop the Wolters Kluwer cloud proposition with the aim of providing the best possible service experience for any company using CCH in the cloud. So today's rough agenda, we'll talk through the need for 24/7 remote mobile access for your entire practice, particularly now in these current rather strange circumstances. I'll talk through the basics of what a hosted desktop is and where it fits in the marketplace. Security is a very hot topic at the minute, not least following recent security attacks, including the Hafnium Exchange server attack. We'll touch on what you should be mindful of. And lastly, I'll talk you through why outsourcing IT can save you time and money. So, what is hosting or cloud computing? Simply put, cloud computing is the delivery of computing services, including servers, storage, databases, networking, software, analytics and intelligence over the internet or the cloud to offer faster innovation, flexible resources and economies of scale. It also allows smaller organisations to take advantage of significant infrastructure previously reserved for large enterprises typically. And with 99% of the UK's 5.7 million businesses operating in the sub 250 employee bracket, it's important that small and medium-sized businesses have the tools available to them to compete. Whilst it is safe to assume that most people will by now have heard of and maybe have a reasonable understanding of what the cloud is, there are a number of different options for cloud. Where HD UK sits is firmly as a managed services cloud provider for accountancy applications. We have worked in this space with accountants for 10 years. And our USP is our understanding of the applications we host for our customers, enabling us to provide a good end user performance and troubleshoot effectively, all aimed at keeping the fee earners fee earning. What are the benefits? Generically, the benefits of moving to cloud include or could include remote working. Even before COVID, being able to work from anywhere was cited as the #1 reason companies moved to the cloud. In the age of flexible working, providing your employees with the tools to work from anywhere not only creates a positive working environment, but there are significant returns to be made on increased efficiency. For example, I work with a fast-growing accountancy firm who wanted to retain the feel of a local practice to their customers, but take advantage of contract workers who worked from home or the coffee shop or wherever they had an internet connection. The benefit to them was being able to scale up and down quickly without the commitment of permanent staff or the need for additional premises, whilst maintaining the level of service that their customers had grown to expect. Another benefit is security, which we'll come on to in more detail shortly because it is a significant topic at the minute. It also removes the headache of managing an infrastructure in-house. More specifically with regards to HD UK and Wolters Kluwer and our partnership, we've aligned the support teams, so we've got documented processes in place, meaning that troubleshooting is quick and painless. It takes away the finger-pointing scenario that is often common in this space. All updates of the CCH or any other application are managed by HD UK out of hours in their entirety. We've also developed our deployment of CCH from the cloud since working with Wolters Kluwer. Whilst we've got a good knowledge of how to deliver accountancy applications from the cloud, their technicians have given some really good guidance and a few tricks on how best to configure the cloud servers in a way that gives the end user the best possible user experience. Our migrations teams work very closely together, the purpose being to minimise disruption and mitigate against risk when transitioning from where you are now, either on-premise or from another cloud services provider across to the HD UK cloud. And all of these are designed to provide the best possible environment for any customer using CCH in the cloud. So, as I said, data security is a hot topic at the minute. Throughout our time working with accountants, they've always told us that the two most important factors when selecting a cloud provider to look after their data is the resilience and the security. And that's why these make up the foundations of our proposition. Our platforms are housed in two of the most secure data centres in the UK, the Bunker. They are accredited to ISO 27001 and PCI DSS standards and provide the highest levels of both physical and virtual security. Servers and services are clustered with automatic failover. All transmissions over the internet to and from your hosted desktop are encrypted using SSL encryption, which is the same as what you'd use for online banking or secure payments. Particularly since the increase in people working remotely, the threat of cybercrime is very real and a massive concern for organisations large and small. 88% of UK organisations reported suffering a data breach in the last 12 months. And now I've read that in America, insurance companies are effectively funding cybercrime by recommending ransom is paid rather than the more costly procedure of backing up or restoring, having downtime for the staff, etc. So what size of firm is this service suitable for? Any cloud is a scalable solution, and ours is no different. It is fully scalable and therefore doesn't have limits on number of users. We tend to find smaller companies use us because they have little or no IT support in-house, whereas larger companies use us so that their IT team can focus on projects that enhance their own proposition rather than just servicing their existing infrastructure. And what is the migration process? It is typically a hot topic. No organisation wants to have downtime or disruption. For us, and in our experience, the devil is in the detail with migrations. So comprehensive planning is the key to ensuring a smooth transition from where you are now to the HD UK platform, which is why we invest heavily in this part of the customer journey. Now, no two migrations are the same, but what we do is we assign a project management team who are tasked with planning, executing, controlling and completing a project to an agreed end. Their work will be in conjunction with pre-sales activity to understand the IT environment in detail. This includes the applications used, as well as a wider understanding of the organisation and user expectations, as well as business objectives. Key project manager activity during the discovery or initial phase are likely to include exploring the current service description, examine the client's business processes, learning the client's expectations from the new solution and managed service, identify any potential bottlenecks, describe high-level solutions to the expected or existed problems, identify priorities and form a backlog, and create the roadmap for the project. Again, all of this is designed to keep the customer in the picture, make sure they have visibility of what's going to happen, when it's likely to happen, and as I said, to mitigate risk and minimise disruption, ultimately keeping your, as I said, fee earners fee earning. So we'll touch on a few of the top 10 reasons why people move to HD UK's cloud. We do extensive research within our own base of customers and get their feedback, and that's what we use to build our proposition and develop as an organisation. So again, the security, top of the tree when we come to understanding from our clients what they see as the most important factor. As I've said, our equipment is wholly owned, paid from, retained profits, is housed in two of the most secure data centres, which are they're called the Bunker. They are actually bunkers. They're former Ministry of Defence sites. If anybody has had the, I suppose, mispleasure of attending a data centre, they're very boring. There's nothing exciting about a data centre. However, of all of the boring data centres I've been to, this is the least boring, given there's quite a lot of history and nostalgia within the structure. Anywhere access to your applications and data. As we say, the hosted desktop gives you the ability to access your applications and data from anywhere, as long as you have an internet connection and a suitably enabled device. So this includes laptops, thin clients, smartphones, iPads, using Wi-Fi, wired connection, 3G, 4G, 5G. There is no real limit to where you can use it as long as you do have that internet connection. Experienced IT support to the professional sector. We have a quite unique place in the market with so many different cloud options and so many sort of consumer-based clouds or public clouds. Our focus, our main aim is to deliver a specific service to organizations that need our help, that have an application that resides on their terminal server, such as CCH. It's no point just providing a platform for that application. We have to do the service alongside it. So our 10 years in this sector has been built around us understanding what's important to accountants and how to deliver the applications that they use successfully from the cloud. Alongside that, it helps us to troubleshoot efficiently and effectively. So we back up and replicate your data daily. There's a standard backup procedure where daily we will back up to the secondary data center, meaning that everything's stored elsewhere at a different site in an equally secure location. But in addition to that, we tend to recommend and provide a premium backup product called Snapshot Backup, which backs your data up hourly. So it backs it up hourly per day, daily per week, weekly per month, and monthly per year, meaning that worst case scenario, should you lose your application completely, we'd have you backed up from 59 minutes ago, and that's worst case scenario. It also ensures that in the unlikely event that one of the data centers was to fail, either site, it will be backed up to the other one. It's never happened, but those contingency plans are in place. The reliability of hosted services is provided by the hosted desktop fail-safe backup system, which gives you the peace of mind that your business critical data is protected and your business will not have to suffer the catastrophic consequences of data loss. As we've touched on, everything's backed up hourly. Alongside that, our service level agreement provides a guaranteed minimum of 99.9% availability, with service credits available if this is not met. Where we would differ from a typical on-premise environment is that for every server or virtual private server we build to meet the requirements of the customer, we would replicate that just in case. So you've got failover within the same environment, as well as that backup and complete failover or disaster recovery, DR, to the second site. You're unlikely to replicate that type of resilience within an on-premise environment. Your speed and levels of performance are a consideration for organizations moving to the cloud. A hosted desktop does not require processing or data to be transmitted over the internet. The data remains on our servers in our data center. All that travels over the internet are simple screen scrapes or user keystrokes and mouse movements. So consequently, the speed of internet connection required is often lower than expected. We find typically a 1 megabyte connection per 10 to 20 users will provide a good level of speed and performance. Alongside that, as I've mentioned, we've worked intensively with the Wolters Kluwer technical team to get an understanding of how best to configure their application from the cloud, ensuring the speed and efficiency of our cloud platform for CCH is as good as it could be in any cloud environment. So it saves money on in-house IT infrastructure. Using our hosted services means you'll no longer have to buy or maintain expensive in-house servers with their associated support costs. So users will be able to replace traditional desktop PCs with lower cost, lower power consumption or thin clients, which is basically a small form factor PC. It acts as a portal to your virtual server, so they can be set up very quickly and easily. We have quite a transparent way in which we deliver a commercial proposition to our customers. You only pay for the services you need. So you select which services are relevant to you with our guidance typically, and without having to pay for services you don't need. We price all add-on products individually so that you can purchase only those you need or add them on at any time in the future. You can add any number of applications to your hosted desktop service at no extra charge. And users can be added or removed with minimal notice, so it's scalable. We also offer shared and part-time desktops for users who work fewer than the normal days or hours per week. And you won't get charged for any hidden extras. Our pricing is competitive, very competitive, and our quotes are totally transparent, as I said. So there's nothing hidden. What we what we put forward to you initially is what you can be sure to be paying on a monthly basis for the duration of your contract. We also carry out all software updates for you as required, so there's no charges for things like updates or restores or anything else that you might need. With it being a fully managed service, you can be safe in the knowledge that your price per month includes all the things you need to operate your business and let us look after your IT. And finally, certainty over your cash flow. This is, I suppose, a relatively new cloud model that's available called consumption-based cloud. This isn't how we do things. A consumption-based cloud means that you have a cloud environment that if you require more resource or CPU, RAM, power effectively to deliver your cloud application, public clouds will charge you based on what you use or what you need to use. So it can be quite a variable charge per month and not necessarily a guaranteed cost. Ours is different. Ours is configured based on what we understand of your environment. If you need more power, so we've not spec'd it high enough, then we will provide that additional power as required. We use monitoring tools, an in-house developed business intelligent reporting mechanism, which means that if your environment needs that additional power, we will know and resource accordingly before the end user experience is affected. So that's the end of the presentation. Thank you for watching. We'll go to some questions now and find out if anybody has anything they'd like to find out a little bit more about. If you did want to request further support, then please feel free to click onto the website. Our hosting solution, as you can see, identified there in that slide. Thank you again, and over to questions. Okay, so we've got a couple of questions that were sent into the marketing team before today's session, so we'll run through them if nobody has any questions that they'd like to raise now. So first question that came in: how long would it take to set up a 15-user practice with hosted desktop? The answer is it's subject to the requirements and the complexity of the migration, but typically you're looking at about a 4-week lead time from engaging the migrations team to getting you migrated across to the HD UK platform. Second question was, does HD UK provide after-hours emergency IT support? The answer is yes. Anything that is classed as priority 1 or business critical, so you are unable to access your environment, then you can contact our support team and they will get you back up and working. There's a 1-hour SLA for us to be back on with you to get you guys where you need to be. What differentiates HD UK? Why should I choose you? The answer, as I've touched on, is, I suppose, our experience in this sector. We've worked almost entirely with accountants for the last 10 years or so. Our knowledge of the applications that we host and our ability to troubleshoot effectively is why we say we are the best place for any organisation looking to put their applications into any accountancy organisation looking to put their applications into the cloud. And lastly, what geographic area do you support? We are nationwide. We can and do support organisations using remote desktops overseas, anywhere in the world. But our teams are based in the UK, so that's where we operate from. Okay, that appears to be all from the questions. Thank you again for tuning in, and I look forward to hopefully speaking with you or working with you in the near future. Thank you.